Smoking on his eye, swear it really got me fried. I've been through a lot, I swear it helps me clear my mind. We put some work on the streets, we in overdrive. Saving 30% just to pay the fines. Only hit my phone if you need a 3-5. We making business moves, everyone is justified. My old lady dialed me up like when you coming home. I'm a man in these streets is my home.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis. I have a brand new review for you here today. We're gonna fly the brand new Flywoo Firefly16 Nano baby. This is the V3 version of this little quad, and it's a lot to say. It's a long name, but it is really simple. What's nice about it too is it works with my DJI goggles, and I'm getting a good flight time even though I'm flying a 1S battery. But in this video, we're going to go through the flight characteristics as far as beginners to intermediate, what the style feels like on this quad. We have 1000 series motors on it, and it does have enough power to do light freestyle. I wouldn't say it's a freestyle wild machine, something like the Eagle 2. This is quite a bit different, and in a way it's more of a cinema style whoop or a fun flyer, sort of a Sunday flyer versus like something like as wild as the Eagle 2. But the Eagle 2 is also on 2S and this one's on 1, so you're not going to get the same power to weight ratio. So I want you to know that if you're deciding to buy this one. So I think we should go ahead and talk about our giveaway because we have 2 days left on that. You want to comment, like, and subscribe on the channel because we're giving away a $500 analog 6S Catalyst Machine Works quad that's going to be given away in a live stream on Thursday. So make sure that you are subscribed to get a notification when that video comes up. But for now, I think we should all go out together and let's fly this little baby Nano, brand new, that just came out from Flywoo, and let's talk about what it can and can't do, and let's talk about the pros and cons of this and all the cool stuff that Flywoo sent me. It's awesome. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they sent me that I have to show you. So thanks to Flywoo for supporting the channel and letting me show you guys what's new. So let's go fly it. All right, here we go. Firefly 16 with the 04 Lite on board. Let me show you and let me explain how this feels when I'm flying it. Now, this one is about 65 grams with the 04 Lite on there, and we're flying on 1S. The last flight I did was with the Eagle 2, so this feels completely different than the Eagle 2. This is definitely feeling a lot more like a cinema style Cinewhoop or Tiny Whoop, if you will. Now, I don't feel like it is going to be able to do much freestyle. Honestly, I did put the prop guards on there because I was afraid like maybe to break the frame, but I feel like it yaw snaps pretty good around trees and doesn't blow out. And I have to say, I think the tune on here is perfect. Like, I didn't see a single line of jello or weirdness in the video when I was doing hard turns and things like that. And as far as performance goes, I want to keep flying this and probably do some more videos on it because it really is a lot of fun, and I think it has a lot of potential. So I want to explain to you a little bit further in detail back at the bench. Here we go. Now, this cute little quad on Flywoo's website says it's $239.99. After the US tariff, it will cost US pilots $359.98 after you pay the tariff fees coming into the US. So the quad with the prop guards weigh in at 43.4 grams, and what you need to know is that these prop guards, they're only about a gram a piece, so they only add an extra 4 grams. These are the new reduced weight version of the prop guards. Now with the 1S 750, that's going to get us up to 60.5 grams total takeoff weight, and the 1000 milliamp battery is going to get us up to 65.7, and the smallest battery you can put on here would be something like a 1S 550, and that'll get you down to 57.8 grams. Now this little guy does have a 2-up stack here on top of the Firefly 1S frame. It is Goku F405. It's an HD flight controller built specifically for the Lite version, and the cable just plugs in. And on that top layer you can see where the DJI Lite button is for binding right here, and we also have a USB-C port back here for the DJI 04 Lite for getting off your videos to your computer. If we flip the frame over on the bottom, you do see that it has the micro USB port right here for beta flight, plugging into the flight controller, and we do have plug and play motors here as well, so if one burns out, you just plug a new one in. And this is the 1000 milliamp battery harness for the largest battery, and they just twist on and off. And mine came with 3 different versions: a 550 battery harness, as well as the 750 battery, and they're all marked. And this one says the 1S 1000 series harness. And these motors, these are the Robo 1002 series motors, and these are 23,500 kV, and they're specifically made for the Firefly 16. And if you're using the prop guards, you need to use the longer screws with the pan style head on the top so that it holds down. And on the very top, we have the HQ 40 millimeter props. These are tri-blade style props, and they seem to be pretty efficient. And up front, we have that conversion kit. This is the wide angle conversion kit that Flywoo sells. It does weigh 7.6 grams on the scale, which it is a pretty large unit. So I was thinking maybe this would be pretty heavy, but when I set it down, the overall weight, even though it's so large, is pretty decent at 7.6 grams. That's not bad. You can get a tilt on this camera from 0 degrees up to about 20 degrees total tilt. Now, one thing you need to know, if you're going to buy this quad, you need to know that the battery cable length right here for the A30 connector is a little bit short, too short in fact, to be able to reach something like the flush mount little connectors like on the 550 beta lava batteries. It will not reach and be able to plug into these types of batteries. So you will need to have the batteries that have the extension off of them, like this one, that kind of come around and plug in. So that was one drawback that I saw. I couldn't fly my lava batteries from Beta FPV on this, even though they will plug in and work with it. These are the BT 2.0 connectors. The cable just wasn't long enough to do that. So if you want to fly sort of flush mount connectors, you're going to have to extend this cable to do so. And they also have an 04 Lite wide-angle lens ND filter set already. It's probably the first of its kind in the world, and Flywoo is the only one currently that's making the wide-angle conversion kit for the 04 Lite, which is kind of cool. We have UV filter, which I'm running, and if you open this up, you'll see that these filters are actually just the piece of glass itself. And the way they install is they just snap right into the TPU mount here. So you can very carefully take this off and slide these mounts into the slot around the TPU mount for the wide angle filter. And then you'll have a variety of different types of ND filters, including the UV filter, which is kind of nice. It just reduces glare and also bring a little better color to your cinema style videos. ND8, ND16, and ND32. So Flywoo was also kind enough to send me both versions of their brand new Easy Power chargers. And this is the E16, which does 1S batteries. They can do HV batteries. It also has the A30 connectors on the top, 6 of those. And then it also has side connectors for PH 2.0 Whoop batteries, 3 on each side there. So a total of 12 different charging ports. And it also does auto charge, which I love. So if I line this battery up correctly, the light will change from green to red while it's charging. Pretty simple, and I love that it does auto charge and you don't have to fiddle around with any kind of screen. So it is kind of beginner friendly. When this battery is done, it'll go green. Now it also has a secondary mode, which is pretty easy to access. It has a description right here. If you hold it for 2 seconds, this red light will turn blue. And now you're in storage mode, which is kind of nice. So if you want to store your 1S batteries for a long term, say over the summer, if you're not flying as much whoops in the summer, you're going to fly more in the winter. During whoop season, you can storage charge those. I thought that was pretty cool. And this is the E24, which is for 2S batteries. And you know, a lot of these smaller whoops now have the 2S option. So it's nice to see that they came up with a 4-up charger for that. And both of these charge at 1.5 amp. So it's not going to overcharge these batteries. And it will amp regulate while it's charging and go a little slower trickle charge at the very end of the charge process. So let's talk about some final thoughts about the little Firefly 16 Nano baby version 3. So many things to say. I wish they would shorten up some of these names. Just call it the Firefly 16 04. But it is primarily, I would say it's more of like a fun flyer, Sunday flyer, cinema style type of whoop, and something that's kind of going to be more mild because quite honestly at the low end of some of the back flips, we just did a couple back rolls, right? You do lose some altitude when you do just a standard type of backflip as you're flying along. So, you need extra throttle coming back around from that little backflip. And I did notice, yeah, I did lose a little altitude. So I had to kind of get up on the throttle to make it rise back up. And that's not typical of like something like your typical whoops. So, you're not going to see that as much. You're going to almost gain altitude as you're flipping and rolling with something with this kind of power to weight ratio, say 10 to 1 or 12 to 1. You do feel the weight of it, but it can go quite fast out in the field too. I was flying pretty decent around the track of the field, and I was noticing that I was able to kind of make really tight turns with it and get back on the throttle and go back the other direction while flying low and controlled around the field's path in the park. So, that is something that is good. That's a good point about this. That's a positive. I'd say the negative may be the high end of the power that I'm looking for. And I think if this was on 2S, for me particularly, I would be pretty stoked with this size on 2S. So I feel like they should do a 2S version of this quad. If you can, Flywoo, make me personally a 2S version, because I'm just looking to go out there and rip. And honestly, you're probably going to have less damage on this quad flying it on 1S. And again, like, I would put the prop guards on there, use the longer screws for that. Be careful when you're putting those in that you don't use too long of screws, because you can burn out the motors if you use the wrong screws. But you'll see pan head bottoms on, or pan head tops on those screws, and they go right up through the prop guards, 3 screws on the bottom of each motor. But overall, yeah, I would say it's a good quad for beginners to intermediate. For the guys that have been ripping for 10 years, you will enjoy this, but you need to know what it is before you buy it. Don't buy it with high expectations of heavy freestyle and being able to just rip and roll. This is more of a cruiser. So we're going to categorize this one as a cruiser and a cinema style whoop, and great for indoors too. It's stable enough in stability mode that as a beginner, this thing is a tank with the prop guards on there. So yeah, it's mild enough for beginners. So I think that as far as the tune, perfect tune on here. I didn't see any problems with vibrations. And again, so for cinema stuff, absolutely awesome. And a lightweight travel drone that you could take on an airplane and go fly in a foreign country somewhere without, people kind of looking at you like you're some kind of military FPV pilot. That's not really going to happen with this one. This one's definitely a little toy and something under 250 grams, which most countries in the world now don't care about. So toy classification, but with DJI camera system on here, really makes it a lot of fun. So you can check it out down in the link below. If you want to support drone camps, that definitely supports us as a channel, and I would appreciate it. And all my honesty to you in this review. So if you do appreciate the reviews, click the like button, subscribe, and comment again and let me know where you're from so you can get in on that giveaway. Coming up in 2 days, I'm giving away a Catalyst Machine Works quad. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to ship it to you. So good luck out there, you guys, and take care. I'm Justin Davis. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.